defense partnership between the two nations, one very significant aspect which is going to be at play is the India-Russia Relos Pact. Let's decode what both the nations are bringing to the defense table and how it strengthens India's military deterrence as well. As I had pointed out earlier as well, it is not about fueling a war, but it is about ensuring that a war is stopped with the power of deterrence. What does it really imply? It's about mutual deployment of warships and aircraft. The purpose is for a faster turnaround when it comes during operations. Also, this Relos, which is essentially the reciprocal exchange of logistics support, it can send military formation, which means it removes the case-by-case clearances which are required otherwise. Also, it will ensure that there is mutual use of airspace and ports, which of course is going to ensure that there is going to be military presence as well, which expands for both the nations. Then you have the regulation of the dispatch of troops, equipment and logistics, which essentially ensures food, fuel, ammunition for forces. Next, graphics is going to be very, very significant for us to understand the Relos Pact, which wouldn't be about fighting wars, and why it is about India's strategic move to ensure that we keep Pakistan and China in check. Why? Well, let's explain. When it comes, for example, to fuel, ammunition and repairs, anywhere and anytime and much faster, because warships can now refuel without returning back to base and then refuel and return. Also, let's move on and tell you the second part is that it means that the aircraft can land, it can refuel and it can redeploy immediately. All damages, and this is very significant, damages can be repaired as well and outside of India, because there is also logistical support which is going to be part of the Relos Act, which is very, very significant. Then, let's talk about how there are going to be no diplomatic delays during war. This is the most critical part of this Defense Act, that there will be no delays because aircrafts, warships, the access is already pre-approved. So not every time are you going to go back and forth to get access, to get the approvals and then send your warships and then send your aircraft. All of that is already now pre-approved. Also, backup bases means that there is going to be greater survivability. For example, now you have alternate ports available. If, let's say, one of the nations is under attack, you have alternate airports. You also get alternate airstrips available to you. Emergency landings are going to be guaranteed under Relos as well. So that's very significant and that's going to be critical as well. Emergency landings guaranteed in case of a war. Also, let's look at the longer naval reach. This is significant as well because this will ensure that there are longer patrols for ships, not return to refuel to their home bases and then go, but also it will ensure that they can refuel at one of the friendly ports and then return. So this will ensure a longer space for them as well to patrol longer shorelines. Evacuation crisis response is also going to get much faster because now civilian evacuations under Relos are going to be much allowed from Russian facilities as well. And deterrence, finally, deterrence effect will be there because India will no longer run dry or be isolated in case there is a war. Our enemies will know that India can fight much beyond its shorelines as well. But what is most important is what the deal does not signify, which essentially, let's break it down, it does not mean that there will be a logistical support, nor is this a war pact. It's important for us to point that out. Also, it will not ensure automatic military support. It will not promise joint fighting in case of a war. It will also not use foreign troops in case of a war. It does not speak about shared command. It does not speak about permanent stations. Which is why, hopefully today you have understood the importance of President Putin's visit to India and how strategic this is going to be. Thank you so much, Ambassador Sajanhar as well as Tatiana. Unfortunately, we are completely out of time, but that's one big visit we are going to be watching out very closely right here on Blueprint Exclusive. Short break, don't go anywhere.